Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We are with Dr. Edwige, who is a way shower on ascension, truly living it, and has experience in her body of seeing the matrix dissolve and fall away. It's really quite extraordinary. And today we're talking about living in the heart and entering the divine consciousness, the portal of divine consciousness, also quantum leaps. So welcome, Dr. Edwige. Thank you for being here.
Lorraine, it's always such a delight to spend time with you. So thank you, and thank you to everyone who's joining us live and in the replay. Know that you're loved.
As we learn to connect more and more to divine consciousness, to really embody higher frequencies of light, I want to check in with you and see how this newness has been going for you. We said Happy New Year. Here we are in March, and we did say Happy New Year. We have not really connected really since the December solstice. So how have you been dealing with the energies? Can we get a report from you?
You know, that's a loaded question. For me, I'm in energies every single day. And so I live and breathe and have my being within the flow. And so I feel that flow of the divine within me all the time. Now, the energies coming in from the sun, that is remarkable because within our codes and calibrations. And so, you know, it's funny, I don't even follow it online as far as, okay, something's coming in, because my body is very well aware of when a wave is about to hit, because I can feel every single wave. And there are times when it will take me and bring me up to bring in codes, or it's time when I just have to sit still or go lay down. And so it really is for real happening right now. We are here, we are the ones. And so we have to honor ourselves, we have to honor our bodies, because think about it, this physical vessel, this aspect has to go through a lot. And so you have to pay attention to what your vessel requires to get you through this with as much grace and ease and mercy and dispensations that are allowed to you and your soul. And so it's to be ever mindful that yes, something is unfolding, that yes, we are actually moving to a higher time, a higher dimension, a new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of living, all of that. And you have to begin to choose to be aware of it consciously. Right? So yes, the sun is shining on us all, but many are called, few are chosen. So you have to consciously begin to choose to receive what is coming in. You consciously have to begin to be aware that something is coming in. You consciously have to begin to move into gratitude. Thank you, divine, that I am here, this aspect on this planet at this time, receiving all that my spirit, my soul, my higher self, my monad, my M, and my bodies of light are ready for me, this aspect to receive. And I do so wholeheartedly. I do so with the deepest gratitude within my heart. Thank you. Do you see where you have to go to receive it? You! And you have to be in that awareness 24/7. So some of us jobs outside the home, and that's okay. So you ask for that again, mercy, right? And the dispensations so that you can be in the world, but not of it, so that all the negativity and all the chaos that is unfolding, because it has to, and that's something that we'll share about the purification stage that this planet and every density of this planet is upon this time. And so you ask for those dispensations of grace and mercy as you have to go out into the world, but you consciously choose to be not of it. For you are the change that you have been waiting for, truly. And so it's to be mindful then how you see it, how you're traveling within it, how you're co-creating with other souls, true, how you are responding to them, if their issues are bringing you down, or your beautiful bright vibration is lifting them up. So there's a whole gamut of things you have to be consciously aware of as you move through this state in the world. And so yeah, it's fascinating to observe. It truly is.
Yes, and not only observe, but walk through it. It's very interesting how, we do this work, we bring in the light, we're conscious, we're aware, but yet there's still episodes of what I call pity parties. Do you know what a pity party is? Feeling less than, and this is just, it goes to the purification that you were talking about. And so it's wondrous at when this will ever end, because at times it's like, wow, it literally hits you from a side point. And I don't know if it's the energies, if there's specific energies happening right now, but it's just very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Even today, personally, I felt like just stuff coming up, and it's like I get better at recognizing it. So I take the moment that I need to have to get that out, to clear it out. But going into the deep, it's what do you do in your own life? Do you still have those episodes or those moments of purification in your life?
No.
You're done.
Done. However, I speak to it because that's why I'm here, right? And so the planet is in a purification stage, which simply means everything that's been done in the dark has to come up and be released. So every soul that's on this planet, you're here for a reason. And so there are many levels and layers to the purification. There's purification of the physical vessel. So you're going to find yourself doing a parasite cleanse, a really important cleanse. Take note, parasitic cleanse. There are many different types. They affect your brain. They have those in your different organs. You have those in your stomach, and they affect different things. And some of them are off-world parasites. No. Yes, so that's extremely important that you hear what I just said. And so there is the purification then of the physical, where you're starting to pay attention to, does this particular food truly give me what I need to sustain the body? Remember, the body is being transfigured. Firstly, it has to be transformed. And that's the purification. And once you go beyond that, then you begin to transfigure. And that's what you see in my pictures. And so the transformation is the process of cleansing, of purification. So again, back to the physical body. Then we have the emotional body that we have to deal with. And so it's those emotions. And as you begin to let go of lack and fear and guilt and shame, you see, let me actually backtrack. Think about how divine the source is, that 1% of matter is all it took to create this physical vessel. Just 1%. That's how masterful the divine and the source is. 1% of self can create this beauty, correct? With perfection, with 1%. That's special. That 1%, you, the 3D being that's moving into the higher dimensions, there are densities so in 3D, there are layers of densities. The lower densities, which we've all mastered, fear, guilt, shame, pain, doubt. Those are the lower densities of the 1% that make matter. Now, as we move through the purification, we move because the window has opened for you to move into the higher densities of the 1%. And as you move into the higher densities of the 1%, now you lift up out of 3D and now you move into 4D. And of course, everyone here knows that 4D, when you go to sleep at night, is the 4th dimension. So that's a higher state of consciousness, a higher dimension. And within it are the levels of the densities. So in this purification, we're letting go of fear, lack, shame, pain, doubt, all those things, Lauren, that you spoke of earlier, that sometimes you're feeling. Why are you feeling them? Because you have to let them go. Why do you have to let them go? So that you can leave the lower densities of the 1% that makes you 3D. And you can move up into the higher densities and begin, because the window has opened for you to move into 4D and really begin to tip into 5. Whoa, kiate, ni hamoho kiato, te kaya shete kaya makuputa, chikasabe, chikotonua. And so that's the process. And so then we're clearing those emotions. And as you then let go of the lower density emotions, you move into the higher density emotions. And I feel bliss, and I am joy, and I am love, and I am grace. And I am abundantly prospered with all that I desire, for I desire comes from that beautiful sacred space of my heart. Do you see how amazing it is to be able to live and breathe and be within the higher densities of your emotional body? The higher densities of your physical body is your physical body no longer ages. Your physical body is youthful and vibrant. I weigh about 107, 108 pounds. I will be 61 next month, April 13th. Not a wrinkle and no plastic surgery. It's because I'm within the higher densities. Do you see? And then you move into the mental body. So, oh my gosh, what do we have to let go of in the mental body? Not good enough, not smart enough, not tall enough, not pretty enough. I've programmed to be in lack and limitation, and I just can't seem to get this right. Ooh, that feels awful. I can't do it. It's too hard for me. Can we go on? There's lots, right? You've mastered them lifetime after lifetime. Now it's time to graduate. The window has opened. And so what does it look and feel like to let go? Because you acknowledge that you're aware consciously of when that issue comes up, whether it be that emotion or that thought that comes up. So now, as we're moving into the higher states of consciousness, the higher densities of the mental, oh my goodness, that's when you begin to move into the flow. And now you begin to connect with Christ consciousness. And so it comes to you that you have no idea where did that beautiful thought come from. It's so beautiful. It's so wise. Yes, because you're no longer living from a 3D mental construct, and you are now tapped into the divine. And that's the difference. And so that's how we're moving. Then we have to go to that astral body, right? And clear it and heal it, because it's been attacked in so many lifetimes. And so you clear it. And then you move beyond, and then that etheric body then is that bridge that takes you and lifts you up. And that's what you've seen in some of my pictures as I've documented this process of moving to the higher realms. It's real, it's true. However, you have to consciously be aware of those steps and those steps of purification. And once you get through those steps of purification, then the wonderful thing is, if you would imagine yourself as a puzzle, right? And this puzzle has, say the puzzle has 100 pieces to it. As you're moving through this purification and clearing, then aspects of you from previous lifetimes begin to return to you. So say it took 30 lifetimes or 10 lifetimes to master self-worth. You got it. You're now balancing it within this aspect. Now that piece locks in. Did you feel that? Now I mastered self-worth. I mastered love, unconditional, and all these lifetimes that you've had of all of these different experiences. You see, so to master love, to come back into harmony of oneness with love, you chose to experience that which would cause you to come back to love. So did you not have to experience the lack of it? Did you not have to experience judgment to come back into non-judgment? Did you not have to experience lack of commitment to come back to commitment? So you see, all of the lifetimes of fear, of guilt, of shame, of pain, of doubt, of suffering, of disease, all of these lifetimes were the, if you will, the pendulum swinging back and forth to bring you back into harmony of oneness with love. So that's the process. And so as you go through the purification, now these parts of you get to return to you whole and loved. And as each of those pieces, say there's 100, as each of those pieces lock back in, whoa, now that flow of you to the source of all that is open. And you connect and you begin to transfigure. And now you move into the higher densities of all that you are, one with your spirit, your soul, your higher self, your monad, your I am, and all of your bodies of light. I think I sent you a picture of me and my body, of my rainbow body. Yes, that's the process. All of it requires you being in the sacred space of your heart. All of it requires you moving, swinging that pendulum left and right. And when you feel that you're out of balance, coming back into harmony. Harmony is the greatest of the laws, right? Everything is going to bring you back into harmony, to oneness with love. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And it gives us the eye on the prize to keep up with, to stay focused on as we go through the purification process. And so for those of us who are still walking through it, kudos to everyone. Just know that you will get through it. And releasing it is the key, and loving it free.
Love it free, because you agreed to come into the space of dissension, right? You chose to be here. You chose to descend. And so why would you not acknowledge the mastery within you that you chose to descend, because you knew you could come forward, that you could have all these lifetimes of all of these experiences, and that these experiences would only make you stronger as a divine being, would make you the master, that you could go on when it was time and that window open, that you could move through it, you could fly through it, and you would come back and they would all say, thank you. Oh my goodness, we learned so much from you in your experiences. You see, Source just wants to feel self, but Source is such an expanded, if it only took 1% to make us physical, imagine what that 99% is. It's instant. And so that divine Source just wanted to be an expression in the lower densities to feel self. And so you mastered it. Now it's time to return to oneness. So, oh my gosh. Applaud yourself, love yourself, be compassionate with yourself, be patient with yourself, but be diligent, because this is a process and you don't get to skate through it. You have to be mindful. You have to get off autopilot. You have to pay attention to your thoughts. You have to pay attention. Is this my thought, or is this someone else's thought that I'm helping to transmute? Transmute it. And let it go. Is this my emotion? Am I feeling this? Is it from a part of me that's ready to return, that needs to be addressed and healed? Or is this a friend or a family member stuff that I'm helping to let go of? Because remember, you are the chosen. You are the chosen one. Here, you are the chosen one who has said yes, so that you would help clear for your ancestors, so that all that has come before you in your lineage, now hear me when I say not just your lineage as a 3D being, but you from Andromeda, you from Sirius, you from the Pleiades, you from beyond. You are here expanding for the all and the everything. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes. And it feels so good. More importantly, the way it makes us feel is very empowering. And to know that we chose this and all you do is clear it, to own it and clear it. Wonderful.
Own it, clear it, let it go.
Yeah.
Transmute it so that you can transform those pieces of you locking into place, becoming whole, right? Living from that sacred space of your heart and feel oneness with all that you are. I can tell you, it doesn't feel any better. I can't even explain and describe to you the fullness, the wholeness that you feel, the bliss that you feel, the love that you feel from all of you and the one. It's
With
true.
that, we're going to show some images.
So that's my rainbow body, dear ones. And you see my reflection in my fireplace. You see my reflection on my friend hitting him. Yes, that's
Amazing.
and you notice that my feet and just a little bit of my hand are still exposed, because if those parts of me were also in the light, I would no longer be here. And so that's what's keeping me, if you will, anchored so that I can complete my mission. Whoa, so then I can move beyond. And so that's what your rainbow Lottie looks like. You can see the different colors, green coming off of it and different hues coming off of it. And that is that sacred body of light that everyone speaks of. Well, here it is. That's what it looks like.
Wow. So tell us more about this, Edwige. What were you doing?
So for the last 2 years, because I've been through the ascension process and completed it in 2016, which was a 9-year year of completion. And that was the window for me and probably many on this planet. And so I go into transmissions based on why I am here as this divine being, this goddess. I go into transmissions every week and I connect to source fully and bring in wisdom, bring in codes, bring in activations that are sent out to all those souls who are ready to receive. They get them. Sometimes anchoring things into Mother Earth. And so as I go through these processes and do these things, I had to be transfigured before I could start that work. So this is showing what transfiguration, remember I said you have to transmute, you are in the purification, and then you begin to transform. And once you complete your transformation, all those pieces locked in, then you begin to transfigure. You transfigure into your bodies of light. That's what it looks like, transfiguration.
Wow, that is it. And we know that Tibetan Buddhism, they studied this as well, and that's been documented, but you are doing it here as well. And so you will be, and this is a journey for all of us. This is where we are all headed. It's quite amazing. So let's look at another photo.
Well, it speaks for itself. I am the light, and it moves through me. And when I connect to the light, it flows. It comes in. The New Jerusalem ship has come in to my home. I go beyond. I go beyond the sun, like 7 suns deep. I go in, and there are beings and all sorts of beautiful beings come in to visit me, to assist me. And as you see, I turn to light, and the light maneuvers. Basically, as I'm in light language, the light will move according to the codes that are coming in that I speak out. I wish I could send you I have on my phone a picture, a live picture of me going into light language, and literally right here in my throat and in my hand, there's a blinking white light. For
Wow.
is the will, and it blinks and it blinks. And so as I am speaking that which is truth, then the universe and the energies respond accordingly. And that's what you're witnessing. And
Wow.
you see the haze of the blue right over my body. Of course, again, a part of this process of purification is also mastering the rays of God, right? The first one being divine will, divine surrender, and it's blue. So divine will, divine surrender, divine protection. And so you see the divine will because it's blue. You see protection because it's blue. The second ray that you have to master the higher propensities of is illumination. So, you know, you thought you knew what you knew, and that now it's time to illuminate it and to go into a deeper truth. So that's the second one, it's a golden color. The third is love, cosmic love. So cosmic love is very interesting. Love is simply you are love. You were created from love. And so love, you know, I don't have to like you. I don't have to do things to show love. I am love. And so people have this conditional love, which isn't love at all. Love is about you being love, about you being in that sacred space of your heart, about you being in that place where there's no judgment, there's no, you know, you're the detached observer, you have compassion, you have honor, you have integrity, and you're in that sacred space and you hold that space regardless of what's going on. You hold that space. That's the highest potentiality of cosmic love. And then you go into purity. Well, clearly purity is all about purification and that innocence, that childlike innocence that has your heart pure, where again, if we were to weigh it, it could not even be the weight of a feather. That's how light your heart has to be, where you simply are being in that flow. And in that flow, you're almost in the void where you don't necessarily have thoughts anymore because they don't come from the 3D. In the here and the now, that's in between the spaces of time, where you've moved in between the spaces of time and you're here and it's now. And in that space, I am one with source and love and purity. I'm one with divine will. If we move into the next, it's all about resurrecting all that you have been. So as all of those pieces, all of those aspects of you return to you, you become the master. You won't necessarily remember the experiences in that lifetime, but what you gain from that lifetime is within you, and you become wise. It's beautiful. So all of that is resurrecting, and then you are transforming. So again, it's about mastery of all the things you've learned, but now it's time to put them together. So it's time to put together what the rays represent at a higher potentiality. It's time to put together what the mental clarity looks like when you're operating from divine consciousness. It's time to put it together when you're operating from an emotion that is of pure love, unconditionally. So it's time to let go of all the old ways, all the old densities, the lower densities, and move into a higher way of being, a higher way of creating, a higher way of thinking. Yeah! And that being you in the norm, your everyday. That's what the process is all about. So that's what the picture represents. Yeah, being one with the source of the flow.
All right, so let's go to this one.
Well, I think that one speaks for itself again. Yeah. The light just flows from me. And whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm wearing, the light comes out and then it just permeates through whatever I have on around me. You see the light. You see it coming out of my crown and all the different colors of my headband. You see it coming off my clothing. It is because the light is within and it pushes out, and that's right there. So it goes right through it as it reaches out to the light.
Wow. There's another image.
And well, yes, the light, because we're magnets. Woo. And so we're drawing that light to us. And as you have, because remember, in this process of transfiguration, in this process of transforming, in this process, you are becoming more and more light. As those codes come in, you become more light. As those codes come in, you become more light. And so that light now comes off my hands, because if you master, right, you know how to work with energy and move energy. My face, there are pictures where you don't even see my face and it's just a blank canvas of white light. So you aren't necessarily this physicality. You are light, and the more light that infuses into you, the more it reflects off of you. And really, that's what you're seeing, the reflection of who I am, light.
Amazing. Totally amazing. Look at this. And you're not even standing in front of a window here.
No, I'm not even close to a window. That's the thing, some would say, and that's why I share different pictures with you, because I want everyone to be clear. It has nothing to do with me wearing white, because you see I was in something pink. It has nothing to do with me standing near a window and just getting the reflection of the sun, because I'm nowhere near the light right now, nowhere near a window. In fact, if you look around, you see it's pretty dark inside. And so, again, that speaks to the point of I am the light.
Oh, this is so inspiring, Edwige. And
that's the goal truly is to let you see. And that's why they've allowed me truly in the last 2 years to, oh my goodness, to record all of this. And I tell you, it's so interesting, because I will be sitting, I'm like, okay, I hear you. I know. Yes, I know it's time. And I go right into light language, and lights start to transform, things start to flicker. And I'm like, yes, I know. And if someone happens to be with me, they can capture it on film. But I go through this, like I said, every day. It's a beautiful thing, but it's to let you know that this is who we are. And if it is your soul's journey to return to the light, then you will. Just say yes. And then consciously begin to make the move. Consciously begin to become aware of yourself. Give it all the effort that you give your 3D existence to. You're so into going to the movies and going to do this and having to be entertained and watching the television that tells you a lie and all of those things. You have to begin to disconnect from 3D and what 3D tells you it's supposed to look like. And you have to begin to actively seek your spiritual self and connect to your spiritual self, connect to your divinity within you. Ask it to come forward, ask it to show you the way. You see, and it will. And then call on your team. This is this quantum jump. You want a quantum jump? No! Stop playing small. You want a quantum jump? Begin to activate that which you are consciously, and then live it with integrity. That will give you a quantum jump. Stop playing small. Stop living in limitation. Stop having excuses of why, well, it's happening to you, but it's not happening to me. Well, stop giving it excuses and say, yes, I can experience this as well. My soul is ready. My soul is speaking to me. I surrender. I tell you, there was an experience I had in one of these transmissions where I was guided. I go into deep chronic breaths. It's another hint. Chronic breathing. I go into deep chronic breath, and on the exhale, I was guided that I wasn't supposed to take a breath in. And I'm like, well, that's really interesting. And so, I can exhale and breathe for a really long time and empty out my lung and air, my diaphragm. I used to sing, right? I sing. And so I'm in that space and I'm like, okay, I can't hold it anymore. I need to take a breath. And I take a breath in and I hear the guidance. Okay, when you exhale, don't breathe. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this again. Right? We just have to consciously be aware of the guidance that's coming in. So in the second time, I had to take another breath. And the third time I inhaled. And when I let go, and I refused to take a breath in. And I just surrendered completely to the divine. And I went into complete stillness, into the void. And I just held that sacred space. And before I knew it, it was as if this divine spark, this divine breath, this spirit, this source went into me and ignited, and there was a breath. I didn't even breathe, but that breath was in. And it was magical. And so when I say surrender, I mean surrender completely. Surrender everything you've worked so hard for in this 3D world. Be willing to let it go, because it's baggage, it's luggage, and you can't take any of this with you. None of those 3D constructs can go with you. And the more you lift up and you take that luggage and you let go of the baggage within that luggage, the lighter the luggage gets, and it begins to fill with light. And trust me, on the other side is everything you could possibly imagine is there waiting for you. So all the beauty, all the joy, all the ease, it's but a breath away.
Wow. Okay, I believe that's all the photos then.
Yeah, I overwhelmed because I could go on and on and on. Like I said, I have probably 15,000 pictures and videos. They tell the story. They tell the story.
We want what you're having.
Yeah.
Is there, can you do a brief transmission? I know you go deep, but is there to take us into these higher frequencies and to help us surrender and break free of the 3D matrix?
Feel it warming up.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So just get comfortable. And how long do you want me to take for this process? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? You tell me.
5 or 10 in the flow.
So just relax, close your eyes, and begin to let go. Set an intention that you're going to release all that spirit will allow you to release within these moments. So take a breath in. Mahoni Hanu Hashem. Let's take a journey into consciousness. So feel and see yourself moving in a direction down your throat, moving in a direction towards your heart. However you choose to get there, using your inner vision, your imagination, just move. You hear your heartbeat, you feel it, and you become one with it until you're all the way at the bottom of your heart. You're facing the back of it, and there you see this tiny opening. That opening is a vortex, so just allow it to pull you in and down. In line with your heart. Feel the love that Source Creator has for you. Allow that love to come in. That love's gonna warm you. Kaya mi amoki shite kai no kuputa shena. Kia tote shikia no no asham. E kia tote shkiskai no kuputo ashena no kotote shkuta. Ah, beautiful. Way up at the top of your heart is this divine tiny chamber. So just feel yourselves move out, over to the left, ever so slightly, and in. And expand, and expand into your heart. Now, in this sacred space, this tiny sacred chamber, this place you can only create for your best and highest good and the good of all. So here we're going to ask for a dispensation to bring in all that is ready to be transmuted from your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, your astral body, your etheric body. And we're going to bring it in through that sacred chamber of your heart. Bit by bit, makoteji kaya no hatiji kaya no kupotani aya no kupopeji kaya no kupotani ashe no kupotani asha eni no kuatiji kaya no kupotani ashe nekia no kupupuno achikaya no koto ini na no hatiji kaya no kupotani ashe kaya no kushikaya no kupotani ashete mi amoho popoti ashe kaya no katiji kaya no kupotani ashete. So let go of your fear, let go of your anger, let go of your jealousy, let go of your resentment, let go of your poverty consciousness, let go of your lack, let go of your doubt, let go of your uncertainty, let go of your dis-ease, let go of your pain and your suffering, let go of your poverty consciousness. Let go of the idea that you have to work hard. Let go of the idea that you have to earn your way back to the heavenly realms from whence you came. Whoa, there we go. And I bring in that violet flame to take it all and transmute it out. As it's transmuted, it transforms. Kanina hukuputa chika sabachi kayano bata no teki atote shikai hukuputani yashikai makaya hukuputani yashikai. And then we're going to bring in this beautiful golden ray of illumination. And any other ray that you require at this time for your individual healing, be it the blue ray of divine will, of protection, of surrender, or the ray of illumination, or the ray of love that is pink, or the purity ray, or the healing ray that is clean, or the resurrection ray that is that golden moon, or the ray of transformation of the violet. So we fill your hearts with the divine purity of the higher aspects, potentialities of those rays. And as we fill your sacred tiny chamber of your heart with these rays, now take a breath in, and on the out breath, push those beautiful rays into every cell, every fiber of your being is being recalibrated to divine perfection, divine illumination, divine love, divine purity, divine healing, divine wisdom and divine transformation. Breathe it in and out into every cell. Ami mamo kote chai shai no kupota shai ni kaya no shai ni kaya no kupote ashkatai. Kanino kupokate ni kaya shite kaya sobachi kaya no kotani hashite. Uyeti kaya no kupotari shiki atukia ni kaya makupotani ashite kaya no kupotani ashite kosobenia. Mi no hate kaya no hana nana hiki atote shketai no kupotani ashketai no kupotani. Minokiashe, Nikoche, Nikoshe, 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 Nikopupunu, Asheka, Yapakotoni, Ashete, Atoche, Nukupunua, Miamo, Piapo, Kiche, Nikopotachi, Kasobechi, Kayanokutani, Ashete, Kayanokuputani, Ashete, Kasabachi, Putotechi, Ano, Ashete. Dear ones, within that sacred tiny chamber of your heart, just envision for a moment yourself, your divine self guiding you now. Every step you take, feel the orchestration behind it. Dear ones, feel the dispensations that you are being given. Say yes to all that you are, to your soul, your spirit, your higher self, your monad, your I am, and your bodies of light, all that which you are, that is ready to move within you, this aspect. Feel yourselves as you anchor into this tiny sacred space of your heart, moving into this place of balance, of harmony. Dear ones, and so that when things come up for you to release, do so with grace, with love, with compassion. Yes, a job well done. You are love. You are light. Here's a beautiful invitation to close this out. I am changing all my garments, old ones, for a bright new day. With the sun of understanding, I am shining all the way. I am light within, without. I am light in all about. Fill me, free me, glorify me, seal me, heal me, purify me, till transfigured they describe me. I am shining like the sun. I am shining like the sun. And when you are ready, dear ones, beloveds, become aware once again of your physicality, of this divine aspect that is you. You that has done this beautiful work. Well done. And as you become aware of you, become aware of you in a higher density, in that density of wholeness, in that density of oneness, in that density of grace, in that density of We are. When you are ready, you can open your mouth. Kiyoto, Chimiamuhata, Chikayamuhate, Miyamuhara.
Thank you.
More than welcome. Indeed. The language of light. The language of light. How are you feeling, Loren?
Like a star, like a sun. Thank you. You are turning us into a star. You're helping us remember the light that we are. Wow.
And only in so doing can you transform and then transfigure. You see, what a beautiful gift that has been bestowed upon me, that I can show you the proof of that which I speak, and then show you the way to that.
Yes. What a beautiful way shower. We are grateful for this experience, and we are so hopeful in our own life. Absolutely. Absolutely. So no matter where anybody may get tripped up along the way, keep your head up, surrender to this light. Surrender. Just know it's a purification.
And the wonderful thing about it is as long as you've made the conscious choice that yes, this aspect of me is doing the work for all of me, all of my aspects to return to me. This aspect here, this vessel here is doing the work to connect back with my soul, my spirit, my monad, my higher self, my I am, and all my bodies of light. Then you are victorious. Now you just have to catch up to you. Do you see?
Yes. Wow.
Yes. So it's just a matter of daily, you paying attention, daily, you living and operating from that sacred space of your heart, daily, you staying in balance. And if you're out in the world and you find yourself challenged, this is a beautiful opportunity for me to practice oneness. This is an opportunity for me to practice unconditional love. This is an opportunity for me to practice detached observance. This is a beautiful opportunity for me to continue my journey as a master. Do you see? And if you begin to look from those eyes, you will see that nothing is being done to you, but that everything is coming from you so that you can make sure that you graduate as the master. Do you see? It only shows up because you still have a little tweaking to do. You get it?
Yes. Yes. And, no matter what happens, there's no blame, not even of ourselves, not even of ourselves. How beautiful is that?
Well, think about that for a moment. And that's really important what you just said, because if you love the Most High and the divine, the source, right? Creator, you love this creation. There isn't a molecule in my being that doesn't adore the creator. Now, if those molecules are in my being, do I not have to love myself? And if I love myself, do I not have to show myself that love and that compassion and that understanding and that understanding and that patience and that tolerance and that forgiveness and that non-judgment? It has never been an outside job, dear ones. Everything that is going on outside of you is just a reflection, a mirror unto you, because it is something within you that you have not completed. Do you see? And if you have an understanding that this is the time, this is not just rehearsal, then that is why it's bombarding you. So for those who are feeling overwhelmed, for those who are feeling like, oh my goodness, this is just too much. No, no, no. Your soul is saying, yes, you have been chosen. You are the one that is here to expand, to awaken, to move into enlightenment. And you've got to get this last bit of work done so that you can do that. So honor it. Be patient with yourself. Love yourself. And I'm giving you this gift from my heart to yours so that you can receive it and expand mi mohopopeni ikiatote shkatai nukuponin yahakuputoni ashkatai kia soma soma soma. You are the light. Tasami amohoshetimi komuyatote katiato shkitia doshkitia shtotia nihumuma. It's time for all the children to rise up. All the children return home. All those volunteers that said yes, those beautiful star seeds that came forward to assist. Time, rise up, rise up, rise up and stand. It is time. Woo.
Wow, we can feel that. Oh my goodness.
They are coming forward. And when I say they, I mean all the aspects of me. All of the divinity of me comes forward to speak to you here this day. Whoa. So this, Lorraine, is what I sit in every day.
That is beautiful. All right, I just want to reiterate, you have ascended in your physical body. You completed that in 2016. And there are others that we have heard of who have done this. And it's such a beautiful example for us to behold and witness and observe and be part of, because I'll say it keeps our eye on the prize and it shows us a roadmap. And so this is the original divine blueprint, right? This is our divine blueprint.
All mine.
Yes.
Nobody. And so, yes, this is the divine blueprint. You can, oh, look at the energy. You came from beyond. You came from the cosmos. And so to return to the cosmos within you, and you will transfigure to light. That's who you are. That's who you are. Every person on this call, this is your calling. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful comments in our Zoom audience. Thank you, everyone. It's just exquisite. The light language coming through really spoke to our hearts. A remembrance there in a deep, deep way. Thank you. And I want to just take a moment. I want to put a call out to our Zoom audience. If you have a question for Edwige, please. We have a few moments for that. I see a hand up right now. Before we get there, I want to talk about I Am the Light program. Dr. Edwige, you have a beautiful selection of programs. I'm going to put that in the chat line right now, because this is how people can take your work deeper and work with what you've created on such a beautiful space to support all of us. And so the I Am the Light package has a couple of things in it. It can meet people where they are. And it's got, let's see, I'll reiterate for you. It's the upgraded awakening codes. It's the path of the initiate videos, and it's the morphogenic metamorphosis audio downloads. And then the divine blueprint package, which is all of those options. So these are very affordable. Tell us about these and how we can work with them.
So, a lot of what I do, and I do believe there's a series of light language transmissions within that. And so it really is, if you felt me speaking to your soul, if you felt the divine coming through, these activations through the light language, there's a whole series of them, and each one speaks to a different thing. So one might speak to bringing in your higher consciousness, one may speak to abundance. And so it's speaking to you at a cellular level, at a soul level, because your soul is remembering, your soul is beginning to reconnect with you, right? Remember, above your head is your soul star chakra. And that soul star chakra is like a braid, and it braids your soul back into you when you're ready. So it's all about activating all of these potentials within you to come forward in the here and the now. So everything that I go over is about returning you to the divinity that you are, be it in the morphogenic a meditation or whatever is there. It's all about activating you. It's about taking you from 0 to 100 with as much grace and ease as allotted, right? Considering the time that we're in. The more you work with it, and I say work with it constantly, because it's alive. And when I do my meditations or my transmissions, You could do it 100 times, and 100 times you will get more activations, because it has to peel away layers so that we can begin to get those codes in, so that we can begin to work on you and open you up and to calibrate you. So every time you listen, there is more and more happening to you, for you. And so, yeah, there are no words to describe just how amazing and magnificent that package is, because infused within are the codes for your divine blueprint, are the codes for you to awaken to your divinity, are the codes for you to access all of who you are and begin, regardless of where you are on your path. If you don't have your rainbow body, then there's still something for you to do. You're still in the purification, you're still in the process of transforming, so that you can begin to transfigure. And that's what it's about. It's to take you through the process of your transmuting to transform, so that you can transfigure. That's it.
I know I can hear questions on a timeline. This, you said 0 to 100. This is like a Ferrari for us. And so if we really want to do this deep work, this is a great tool of support. I know we can't, it's unique for each of us. It's individual for each of us. Is there a timeline? Is there a sense of how quickly we can do this? Could it be a couple of months? Could it be a couple of years?
It really is about your soul's journey.
Okay.
Excuse me 1 second, I need to get tissue. There we go. It's about your soul's mission, and your soul is dictating how slow or how fast you go, based on your progression, based on based on how ready you are to commit. You see, the deeper your commitment, then it will move at a better rate for you. Some people are still on the fence, jumping back and forth. Some people are busy with having to go to a job 9 to 5, and so they don't have the time to come home every day and listen to one of the recordings, because they have to cook dinner for their children. And so there you have it. It is to the degree that you can dedicate yourself to listening to it, to doing the processes. If you were to sit and do those processes every day and really infuse yourself within it, then you're going to transform faster than somebody who doesn't. It's just the way it is. The more you're committed to the process, the more the process can work for you. And so to say there's a timeline, no, there isn't a timeline, because it just depends on you.
Yes, we are the timeline.
You are the creator of your experience. You are the creator of you, all that is going on without or around you and outside you, right? You're creating it. So what are you creating? What are you choosing to experience and create for yourself is the answer to the question.
Yes, thank you. Well, that's powerful. And that puts the responsibility squarely within us. And it actually inspires us to really do that work, to sit with it and move with it and do that work. Okay.
You know, you can get the package, and if you never listen to it, well, don't come back and say, but I didn't get my rainbow body, or this didn't happen to me. Well, okay. You can only lead them someplace. You can show the way. I can open the window. I can't walk through it for you. I can't walk over the threshold for you. I can't take you and pull you through. I can stand there as the pillar of light that I am, and I can say, this is how I got here. This is the path. There it is. Take it how you choose to take it, right?
That's right. Beautiful. Okay. Kari, you had your hand up. If you still want to talk, I'm going to allow you to talk on the Zoom panel. You are allowed to talk without me allowing you. I just said that because that's the Zoom control. As we wait for you to unmute, if you choose to unmute Kari, I will read a comment. There's a couple comments in our chat for you, Edwige. This is from Galaxy J3. I don't have a name. Wow, our beautiful and beloved cosmic mother. What an amazing interview. Dr. Edwige is not only a powerful leader, teacher, healer, but an incredible, gentle, well-bred lady. Oh, she is my great inspiration. Even when I am just thinking of her, my heart opens even more. I love you, dear mother, and I thank you for all that you are. Beautiful. And here is this after the meditation, the process. Wow, powerful process. The light flows not only in and around my heart, but through my chakras. I felt even the blockages around my throat. The colors were literally dancing in love, joy, and peace. How grateful I am. And Galaxy J3 is Arietta. So Arietta, hi, you have your hand up right now. You can unmute and say hello.
Thank you. Oh, dear. I'm ready to cry. Thank you. Thank you. I love you both. It was so beautiful.
Arietta, thank you, sweetheart. Y'all, you know how much I love you.
I can't speak, actually.
She's all the way in Greece.
Oh,
And
thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I am so deeply grateful. Thank you. I love you, Lauren. You are amazing.
Thank you, Arietta. It sounds like you are well on your way, sister.
She is. She is.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Arietta.
Thank you. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Alan. Hi, Alan.
Hello, how you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I had a question for the doctor. I've been watching like your stuff on YouTube for a while, like when you used to just do the transmissions and stuff, and I kept them on, and I actually keep them on my phone and keep listening to them. So, but and after I started listening to them, I started to develop my own light language. But I'm confused because like God is telling me, he just says, open your mouth and, it will flow. But I don't understand any of it.
But you see, that's okay. Because first of all, thank you for finding on YouTube. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And so the key to this is you have to trust the process. It's a language that is not necessarily a word by word translation as much as it's like a picture, an image within your soul that your soul recognizes. And so you just have to trust and you continue to speak it, and you will have a feeling of what it represents, not necessarily a word by word. And eventually, the more you do it and the more you surrender, right? Because you can't have judgment. And what you're speaking to is judgment, right? So there can be no judgment to it. It's coming in how it chooses to come in. And you have to allow, through that law of allowing it to come in, how it comes in. And then, okay, guys, now I'm speaking it. I would like to be able to have an understanding of it a little bit more. Okay, that might require you doing more meditation. That might require you to do something to just expand, surrender, and let go, and to allow it to control. You see, my higher self, my divinity, is the divine director of my material experience and has freedom of action in all that I think, say, and do. So it's not my job to dictate how my divine essence is going to speak through me. It's not my divine job to say, okay, I need to be in the overstanding of what it is the divine essence is saying. That's ego. Ego says, well, I need to know what you're saying. I need to know what this means. Why do you need to know what it means? If you know that you're speaking a light language from the source, then that should be sufficient. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I get it now. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
And Alan, if you are so bold and are surrendered to that, would you like to share some light language? Could you do that? Or if you're comfortable?
Yes, let's do that together.
I've never done that with a Zoom call, but I'm in my space, so we'll make it happen.
I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
Give me like 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yes. Ah,
But him stay, I know, eso.
Asa yami amohopote. Kini hopopushtakai. Humuma hashikanu hatiati. He is speaking his dialect. You see, all star seeds have a dialect, right? You come from Sirius, you go to, and so it's about your dialect for where you come from. Whoa, beautiful. Whereas I speak all of the different dialects depending on whoever is here listening. So that was absolutely beautiful. Whoa.
What's another funny thing is that, you know, when you get that breathing thing that you like that. So sometimes when I'm in meditation, in a deep meditation, usually on ayahuasca though, but on ayahuasca, that stuff comes so deep and so loud, of that pulling of that energy, and making those sounds. It's very different, I say.
So you know what those sounds, that's a breath. That's your body, your lungs producing DMT. That's what keeps you up.
That's
So
good to know.
good to know. And you see, it happens for me without ayahuasca. So a beautiful thing about that is there are tools, you know, medicinal mushrooms, ayahuasca, whatever, that the ancients used to help them so that they can access those states of consciousness. After a while, you'll be able to access that without any assistance, if you will. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm there now. I don't need anything actually now. You know, sometimes I choose to just to have a different experience, but I don't think I ever needed it. I just needed the experience to understand what is possible.
Mhm.
That
And now,
that makes sense.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing, is it not? Yes. And
Absolutely.
the vibration when you are in the light language, can't you feel that vibration and how it's just moving through your heart and expanding you? Now breathe within it. And as you speak it, take those big pranic breaths and breathe and speak and breathe and speak and feel yourself expand more and more and more. It's a beautiful thing. You are indeed on the path. Indeed becoming
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you. Yati shema mumuata chikusabati patani ha no hey. Oh, beautiful.
Thank you, Alan. You had beautiful stuff to say there. Awesome. Absolutely. Okay. And you are an inspiration for all of us, Alan. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Edwige, for explaining how we let it flow. Okay.
And what he was sharing that he is listening to, that's actually a part of the package. And so you see, it helped to activate the light language. And so, yeah, it's in the package.
It's in the package. Learn the light language. I was going to say, oh my gosh, it has been amazing how many people have just spontaneously begun to speak light language, and how we shut ourselves down from it. We doubt it. And then there's no room for that anymore. Move that out. Get it out. No more.
Sounds like, you know, I've been speaking it since 2015. So I'm used to it, and I can be out or wherever. And if there is a person there that is ready to receive, it's instantaneous. I have no control over it, and I turn right on and go into working on them. So, you know, again, if you ask for your spiritual gifts, who on earth are you to decide what they are to look like? If you ask for your spiritual gifts, who are you to say, well, that's not a convenient time, I can't do it now. That's not the way it works, dear ones. If you ask for your spiritual gifts, that is who you are. That is your work. That is your mission. And it's 24/7. It's not about you being convenienced or inconvenienced. It's not about your telling spirit, well, it's not the right time. All of that. I remember this one experience. It was so funny. I was getting ready for the transmission, and I was getting ready for the transmission, which I do every week, by the way. And I have done a transmission every week for over 2 years. That's how amazing. And sometimes I do transmissions 3 times a week. That's how important this work is and how connected. And so I was about to start the process, and I'm standing there, and I realized, and someone had their phone filming right? Because someone's usually around to take pictures. And the light, I realized I had to go to the bathroom to, pee. And so I run off, and as I turn around, the energy was already in, and you see this flash of light move through me as I spin around, and it's like a dance as it's moving around me. And I'm like, whoa, oh my goodness, already? Okay, but give me a moment, right? So I could go. That's how you say yes, and it shows up. You say yes and you surrender, and your divinity, your light will up to move and work through you. It doesn't care about you're tired. It doesn't care about any of those things. First of all, because we're talking about higher levels of existence that doesn't have a physical form. So you're the one with the physical form.
We're all saying yes. We're all saying yes, and we're ready to surrender. Okay. All right. Here is a comment and question from Linda coming in our Q&A box. Such a sacred gathering. I'm so grateful and inspired by all that has taken place. Is there anything that we can do to help our physical body keep up with all the ascension process in a smoother flow with the beautiful flow of this process? Also, does our light language come from our sacred heart space or something else within us that we can reach out to connect with it more fully?
Oh, okay. I felt that, as you see. Okay, so that's back to mastery of the physical vessel. So there's quite a few things you can do. And what I mentioned was some sort of parasitic cleanse or a cleanse. Cleansing of the body and the organs is always important. I use Celtic salt. Celtic salt. So, you have to drink a lot of water, right? Because you have to stay hydrated. But the key to getting hydrated is Celtic salt. And you take a little pinch of that Celtic salt, you put it in your mouth, and then you sip on the water. So if you're drinking 8, 9, whatever glasses of water a day, each time you drink part of that glass, you're going to put a little pinch of Celtic salt in your mouth. The reason? Celtic salt is the only salt that has 3 magnesiums in it. And those magnesiums are required to open your cells so that you'll be hydrated. So if you're not doing that, then you know why you always went to the bathroom or why you never fully feel hydrated. It's because the cells aren't open to receiving the fluid. By taking the Celtic salt right before you put the water in your mouth, those 3 magnesiums go into your cells, open your cells, and now you can receive. So that's number 1, because this process, you need a lot of fluid. And so get Celtic salt, C-E-L-T-I-C, right? That's how you spell Celtic. Like a gray wet salt. And you just take a pinch. I probably take a pinch 10, 11 times a day, because I drink probably 6 or 7 glasses like this. And so I'll drink that much at a time, and I'll do a little pinch of salt each time. And it's low in sodium. So you don't have to worry if you have issues with high blood pressure. Okay, so that's one thing you want to do. 2008, I remember clearly opening my refrigerator that day, and an outside voice, and yes, I hear inside voices, outside voices. It's okay. You're not crazy. You're just awakening. Said no more meat. And for me, I became vegetarian that day in 2008. And so, and that's a call that you have to make for yourself, because I know that I had to expand into this light quickly, if you will. You have to eat foods that are light in vibration, light in frequency. And so that means you're not really eating flesh, correct? And so that's something to be mindful and to consider. Even if you just cut back and you eat eggs or you eat a little piece of fish every now and then, but really try to, if you can, get away from beef, pork, chicken, they're for you anyway, and take too long. In fact, if you were to go off of eating meat like that, it would take up to 2 years to get it completely out of your system. So, so that's it with your taking care of the physical. I like to take a spiritual bath. So, maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month, you want to take a beautiful spiritual bath. You put a little Florida water in it, perhaps borax, because borax is boron. And you notice how they took boron out of everything. Boron is really, 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 really healthy in preventing lots of dis-ease. And so I would take a bath in borax Himalayan salt and baking soda, a cup of each, and sit and soak in that for 20 minutes. And it pulls out nanoparticles and all sorts of detoxification for the body. So those are just a couple of simple things you can do that are real easy, very inexpensive, and will make a difference for your physical health. What was the other part of that question?
It was, does our light language come from our sacred heart space or something else within us that we can reach out to connect with more fully?
So the light language is really going to activate when it activates. And yes, you have to be within that sacred space, your heart open, but also it's about you tapping into the higher aspects of yourself. Because the higher aspects of yourself, that's what they speak. It's not like they speak English or French or German. So it's about a complete connection from your heart, those chakras having to be opened. Whoa. And then you're in the flow, you know, so everything above opens up, and then you have that pillar of light, that beam of light connecting all of those parts into your heart, into your soul. And then you'll be able to begin to speak that language. So for some, it's instant. For some, it's just a practice. You hear it long enough. And for me, it just turned on, like you said, Lauren, it was instantaneous. In 2015, in a ceremony, I stood up and I was speaking it. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm now in light language. Okay. And it hasn't shut up since. It's just such a gift. So, you know, everything comes with your conscious intent, your conscious choice. And then those divine aspects of you can begin to work with you to facilitate that which is within your heart. Does that make sense? And it can gauge your heart. So, you know, you think you can, you can't lie to yourself, put it that way. So everything has to be sincere. Everything has to be with the highest and purest integrity. And so as you begin to do that connection to those parts of you, then that language will turn on. And listening to it can certainly help because it's a soul remembrance.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. And happy integrating everyone as you bring your gifts online and this connection to our planet. I see a world where people are connected in this way, and it's a beautiful place. As we say goodbye, Edwige, I want to give you a last few moments of the world that you see, the world that you envision.
And I have envisioned it. In fact, I have been able to see it. And it's a beautiful world. If you could imagine a space like a secret garden, you know, where the grass is greener and the flowers are brighter and everything is singing to your melody, and you're hovering as you levitate above the blades of grass, and the flowers dance below your feet, and everything has this beautiful golden hue to it. That's what fifth dimension looks like. And the sun is golden and just shining upon it. Everything has this beautiful sunny glow to it. And when you move into that space, your heart is lifted and you can't help but sing and dance and feel the joy. You know, there's a song, and I don't remember the name of the group, but it's, how does your light shine on the road to Shambhala?
Three Dog Night.
Describes it. How does your light shine on the road to Shambhala? And let me tell you, if you can see yourself, begin to imagine your golden path laid out in front of you, and you on that golden path, that is your destiny, and get on that golden path and see yourself anchored onto your golden path, your destiny, and your team coming, surrounding you, catapulting you forward to fulfill your destiny. And on that path, you are singing and dancing, and the flowers are playing with you, and that road is the road to Shambhala. And it's filled with joy and love and peace and grandeur and all your heart's delights. Indeed. Indeed.
How does your light shine in the halls of Shambhala? We're going to be singing that all day.
How does your light shine on the road to Shambhala? I love that.
Oh, thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Edwige. We are different. We are vibrating in such a magnificent way. You have shifted us and helped us to transform even further. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.
Namaste, dear one. Namaste. Be well in all your ways.
And thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for your bright light. Your love matters, and we are here in this beautiful time, and we thank you all for it. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.